I'd like to welcome everybody for coming out tonight. I know it's a hot night. We greatly appreciate you coming out to celebrate Lou Camacho. Before I get started, I want to recognize a few people. Lou's son Nick and his family came down from New Hampshire, and Lou's brother John and his wife are here also. I'd like to thank the representative, Jeffrey Turco, for coming out tonight, and several members of the town council. Thank you all very, very much for coming out to make this a special night. I'd like to give a shout out to Chief Goodwin for blocking all the streets. Mike Cabral, he's a wonderful supporter of everything we do, civic or veteran-wise. Carrie Schumann from the Transcript does a great job, tries to come out all the time. Of course, the American Legion in full force, the Honor Guard here tonight, of which Lou is a former commander of the Legion, past commander. Fellow veterans and citizens, a lot of people, especially the younger people, know Lou Camacho is a person that was involved in the fireworks, all right? Yeah, we know he did the fireworks for 35, 40 years, but he was a lot more than that to a lot of people, and his family, his friends. You know, he was a husband. I should say he was a son. He was a husband. He was a dad. He was a grandfather. He was a brother. He was an uncle. He was a friend to many. But Lou was true a Marine, and Lou was a war hero. That's what Lou was. And he would never speak about that because that wasn't his style. He would just say, I'm just doing my job, killing the enemy. He'd want no credit for anything. But I'm going to give him a little credit tonight, and he's probably up there cursing me with what I'm going to say. United States Marine Corps, Headquarters, Fleet Marine Force Pacific. In the name of the President of the United States, the Commanding General, Fleet Marine Force Pacific takes pleasure in presenting the Bronze Star Medal to Lance Corporal Ronald Louis Camacho, United States Marine Corps, for service as set forth in the following. Citation: for heroic achievement in connection with operations against insurgent communist Viet Cong forces in the Republic of Vietnam while serving with Company C, 1st Recon, 1st Marine Division. On 28 May 1967, during Operation Union 2, Lance Corporal Camacho was a point man of a reconnaissance patrol deep in enemy territory near Da Nang when the unit was suddenly ambushed by a numerically superior Viet Cong force. Although sustaining grenade fragmentation wounds in the leg in the initial burst of fire, he aggressively delivered effective suppressive fire against the Viet Cong force until his unit was able to withdraw and establish a defensive position. Although constantly exposed to hostile fire and despite his painful wounds, Lance Corporal Camacho steadfastly continued to fire and hurl grenades against the enemy positions throughout the next 3 hours. Late in the afternoon, when the patrol received orders to move to a landing zone for extraction, Lance Corporal Camacho, ignoring his wounds, again assumed the point position and began leading the patrol to the pickup area. During the movement to the extraction zone, he sustained a second serious wound and was subsequently evacuated. His outstanding aggressiveness and professionalism were an inspiration to all who observed him and contributed significantly to the successful extraction of his unit. Lance Corporal Camacho's courage, resolute determination, and unwavering devotion to duty at great personal risk were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and of the United States Naval Service. Lance Corporal Camacho is authorized to wear the Combat V on his Bronze Star. And I might add that 1 in 40 Bronze Stars, 1 in 40 receive the V for Valor. In addition, he was wounded, as I described, twice. He received the Purple Heart, and they don't issue a second Purple Heart, but what they issue is a star that signifies the second wound. That's about all I have to say about Lou Camacho. Just a great guy, a great friend, a war hero, and it's the town's pleasure to honor a guy that gave so much to the town. You know, a businessman, the fireworks, and just being a great friend. So I'd just like to, at this point, I would like to ask the representative, Jeffrey Turco. Jeff, please, if you would say a few words.
Thanks, Phil. I hadn't planned on speaking, but I will offer a few words. I mean, I moved to this town 20 years ago, and I remember when I had kids relatively quickly, and I remember going to the video store and meeting Lou, and you know, as you made that gruff sound, I was thinking of him in the video store. But he was so kind to us, welcoming us as a new family coming into town, and then his legendary influence on the town in terms of the fireworks. You know, the other night as we were watching the fireworks, they're probably some of the best electronic fireworks we've had in this town ever. And I couldn't help but think, I think Lou would be proud of this display that we had this past 4th of July, because they really were, they weren't his fireworks manually done, but they were pretty impressive for electronically done fireworks. But you know, it's such an honor to have an opportunity to say a few words and to be in a small town like Winthrop that doesn't forget its own, doesn't forget people that made a difference in our community, made a difference for our country. I thank the members of the VFW and American Legion Post for their service. Our police and fire, we have some of the finest police and fire in the entire Commonwealth here in Winthrop. So thank you to the members of the Winthrop Fire Department and Police Department for your service every day. And just thank you. And I thank my colleagues in government for being here, because it's so important that we stand together and recognize our fellow citizens that have given so much to our community and say to the family, we will never forget. And this sign is a testament to the fact that Winthrop will never forget the great Lou Camacho. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. At this time, Lou's son, Nick, has declined to speak, so we're going to bring forward Lou's grandson to say a few words, please.
As he said, my father so politely declined and gave it my responsibility to speak, which I didn't prepare anything. But all I really have to say is that my grandfather wasn't a man of many words. He rarely said anything more than a sentence. I mean, even when it took a paragraph to describe, he could be described in about 3 words, and that'd be tough and shut up, and he didn't really say anything other than that. But I think my favorite memory of him was we were at the Memorial Day parade, and he invited me up to sit up on the, I think we had half tracks up there as well, and he handed me his old fatigues and his hat from service, and he gave me a model M1 Garand that was not loaded, thankfully, because when I took it, I immediately shot at the air. But he immediately took it back and said, "We're going to get you a bigger gun, but it's going to be much lighter and much non-functional." And after that, we went up to the podium where they shot off all the brass for the memorial, with all the listing of the wars and the losses we had. And I'd go and collect all the brass after they shot off the guns, and I could make like a game out of it. And whoever found the most brass would win. And after that, he drove me home, and he just said to me, "You know, if I ever find myself in a position where I could honor him, don't." So I'm going to cut it short in his respect and say that he was a great man who probably deserves all of this, but he would not think so himself. Thank you.
All right, at this time, I present the American Legion Honor Guard.
Honor Guard, attention, hut. Ready. Aim. Fire. 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 Freezing. Arms. Order, arms. Parade, rest.
Al, if you would like to come forward and present the coin to Nick's grandson.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
So at this time, I would like to ask an old friend of Lou Camacho's, a fellow Marine, to come forward and unveil the memorial plaque. Billy Hayes, I know Billy can climb a ladder. Come on up, Bill.
Careful, old man.
I'll flip the ladder for you, don't worry. What's it just doing up there?
Don't break it, Billy.
Once again, thank you on behalf of the town of Winthrop. We greatly appreciate all the citizens coming out tonight to honor Lou, and this concludes tonight's ceremony. Thank you very much.